Schlink Honkan Shinanta. Dash Kunkin Aston Haka and Dan Laden Honda. See, welcome to 1000 PS. Hello everyone, welcome to 1000 PS. Today we are going to be reviewing bike Honda. Episode Shock Honda. We talk about wheels and bike Honda today. Oh, Camry, here we go. Fucking Camrys.
Oh, you better be alert. I might just throw a random fry in the middle. Oh, who's faster? That was good.
So I've talked about this bike in other videos. Oh, what do I got here? Oh, it looks like sneaker meltage. I don't know if you guys have seen my other video with the night pigeon, but here it is. Oh yeah. This bike, this was my first real motorcycle. I bought this around 96. CB700SC Nighthawk S, or CB700S as they're commonly referred to, is a mouthful. Was made from 84 to 86. While visually similar to the 650cc Nighthawk that preceded it, the 700cc was actually a completely different motor. It's a 696cc air oil cooled, dual overhead cam inline 4-cylinder, which is actually pretty impressive for the, the mid 80s. Now in Canada and Europe, the Nighthawk got a 750cc engine, but in the 1980s, Harley-Davidson lobbied the Reagan administration to put import tariffs on quote-unquote heavyweight motorcycles, which basically put a graduated tariff on bikes over 400 to 700cc. And this is basically to reduce Harley's competition from the Japanese imports coming into the US. Hence why in the US the Nighthawk is 696cc and 750cc everywhere else. The engine puts out about 80 horsepower at about 10 grand and about 45 foot-pounds at 8,000 RPM with the crank. Wet weight is 499 pounds. It has a 4.2 gallon tank. I think it's a 3/4 gallon reserve tank. Mileage is around 49 mpg. I've gotten as high as 60 on the highway. Quarter mile on these bikes is pretty zippy. It's a healthy, 12 seconds flat at about 110 miles an hour. Top speed I think is 145, but I've never had it over 120. I think it had 6,000 miles on it when I bought it, and I paid like $2,100. And that included 2 helmets, a spare battery, and some hypoid gear oil for the shaft drive. So pretty good deal. It's a pretty torquey motor, and it doesn't require a lot of downshifting to pass. Now, in 1986, they added a Shasta White with all bikes getting the blackout treatment, with the wheels and engine covers being powder coated black. Now I bought this bike from the guy in Yarmouth, Cape Cod, and he had already painted it silver. But if you look around the lip on the fuel filler for the gas tank, you can see that it's actually the Shasta White, which is a very collectible color if you can find one. The dash actually has a really nice clear set of gauges. It has this reddish orange color that was really popular with Honda in the 80s. Really easy to see at night. It's got a speedo, a tach, fuel gauge, which I don't think has ever been right, and a gear shift indicator, which not many bikes had gear shift indicators. Even in the 90s. I mean, even now, a lot of bikes don't have them. So to have one in the 80s is pretty cool. The bike's unbelievably reliable. This thing sat for years under my porch, completely neglected without being run through the rain, the winters, the hot summers. And when I decided to get it going again, I just bought a battery, put gas in the tank, checked the oil, hit the starter, and it just blipping the starter, the thing just fired up like not even half a crank. But this is a really interesting bike. It's got a lot of cool engineering features. It was the predecessor to the CBR, and it was one of the first bikes to use the concept of mass centralization, which was to lower and shift the motor forward just to reduce the polar moment of inertia. So you can see what that did. In terms of packaging, there really is no oil sump or oil pan to speak of. So true to form, Honda actually ended up plumbing the oil into the frame, and you can see here, this is the oil air cooler. It's actually plumbed right into the frame right here on both sides. It's, you know, twin cam, 16 valve. It actually has hydraulic tappet, so you don't necessarily need to do a valve adjustment, although I would recommend that you get the valves checked every 25,000 miles or so. Another cool engineering feature is it has this anti-dive fork here. Basically, when you apply the brake, there's a pin joint right here, and the reaction from the brake pushes on this piston right here, and that piston actually closes a valve inside the shock. Just increases the damping a little bit and prevents the front from diving as much. There's an adjustment on it. Where is it? Right here. See that? So it's a pretty cool engineering feature. And it's also shaft drive, which is pretty cool, so you never have to do any chain adjustments. So you rock the bike forward and you just pull up and push down with your foot. Let me see if I can get that on video. So foot here, hand here, pull up. Look at that, no effort. And it rains here a lot. I'm surprised the sun's out right now. It probably won't be for much longer. People talk about Seattle being like the rainiest place, but Boston is a really close second. The Japanese are really good at basically taking a particular problem that already exists and really optimizing it. That's kind of their thing. You know, they find these old katana swords that were folded like 1,000,000 times. And if you know anything about sword making, that's like totally insane. But that's what the Japanese are really good at. You know, I might actually do a video comparing the different types of engineering, the cultures of engineering. A lot of people think that Japanese bikes are inherently better for some reason, that they have a much higher engineering content. And blobbity blob blob blob. Yeah, I can remember being in an engineering class, you know, taking a test and just having someone stand up in the middle of it, thrashing their books around and stomping out of the room, telling the teacher to go fuck himself, you know, because people just crack under the stress. I'd say most of the people out there who ride motorcycles, well, a lot of them may be technical, you know, they may have some technical background. They're probably, most of them aren't engineers, so I don't know that you really can appreciate the engineering that went into the bike, you know, the math and the science that went into bringing that thing to life. I gotta take it slow here. I'm on 14-year-old tires. They're gonna friggin' explode on me. Somerville. Oh yeah, nice. Friggin' Jap truck. Why do you buy a Jap truck? I can see why you buy a Jap car, because they're more reliable, but Jap trucks aren't more reliable than like Chevy trucks. Let's fucking buy the American truck, right? Like that quick shifter, huh? Brakes feel a little mushy. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum. Bum shithole. Charlestown.
All you give a fuck about is Coke and Xbox.
Bunker Hill. The Zachem. The most expensive mile ever built. Oh, no extended swing arms? What the fuck? Nice. Entering the north end. Look at this shitty bridge. This bridge is so shitty. Let's just close off the middle section because it can't support the weight. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I like that. Marty Walsh. That's the north end over there. If you just go sort of bare left here, that's the north end. It's pretty. That's about the only part of Boston I really like that's somewhat untouched. It kind of looks like Venice, but instead of water, there are these just cobblestone roads. I'll do like some kind of Boston tour video sometime. Give you the ins and outs of Boston. Bum bum bum. Bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, bum. We got cops. Boston police. I had a statey pull up next to me. State trooper.
You got any shoots at home, or you like coming to work dressed like you're going to invade Poland?
Pulled up next to me right here at this intersection up here, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing riding a sport bike in Boston? He's like, you're gonna kill yourself. And he was laughing. He has a Harley. He's like, I'd never ride in this city. Their guy. Their chief. Yeah, the big pig, the big dig. 1 mile, they buried the problem underground, and now they can't expand it. They should have just taken the overpass and rebuilt it. They're always working on it because it's always taking on water. Thing's constantly leaking. Friggin' toilet. It's a boondoggle. Yeah, North End's got good cannolis. You go in there on like a Thursday through Saturday night and see all the biscuits walking around. Oh yeah. Summertime, little summer dresses. Oh yeah. I'd say Boston, of all the states I've been to and cities around the United States, and I've been to just about all of them, I would say Boston has the most attractive women. Mainly because it's a smart city. You know, all the major colleges are here, from MIT to Tufts to Harvard, and all the major medical facilities are here, like Brigham and Women's and MGH and Mass Eye and Ear. Beth Israel, you know, it's a giant college campus basically, and women love college. There's more women going to college now than men, so it's a nice, clean, tidy little city, and nice, clean, tidy little girls come here. Really attractive women. It attracts really beautiful girls, and you know, there are a lot of pretty girls in California, but they all have sun damage. You know, their skin is all sun damaged. Oh yeah. I mean, New York probably has the most attractive women. Like, if you go there, all you see is models everywhere. It's crazy. Like, 9s and 10s in your town are like 6s and 7s in New York. They're all tall and beautiful and perfect. They're perfect skin, perfect everything. Here, they're probably pretty close to that, but people come here for more of a profession rather than modeling and shit. So you find women here that are intelligent and attractive, which is like a deadly combination.
Don't hurt us, lady. Our take home's less than 300.
You're overpaid.
Getting into the financial district here. I think this is one of the more boring cities, just because it has no culture. People here, like, they pride themselves in being super liberal, but they're the most conservative and private people you're ever going to meet. It's really hard to make friends here. I have a cousin that was born and raised in this area. She lives out in LA. She's a photographer, and she put it the best way that I've ever heard it, which is, in Boston, it's really hard to meet people and to break into social circles, but on moving day people show up. And she said in LA it's really easy to meet friends, but on moving day no one shows up. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Missed my friggin' turn. Too busy looking at this woman pick her nose. What the fuck? I gotta go up summer. Bum bum boodly dee dong. Focus power. Dun 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 dee dun dun. Horsecock. Dum dum dun 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 dun. Okay. Let's see what we got here. No one. Got another horse. It's the most horses I've ever seen downtown. Look at this friggin' horse. Camry, here we go. Fucking Camrys. Oh my god. I'll show you the old meeting hall, the old Capitol. That's the cool thing about Boston, is you've got all this old architecture mixed in here. Got Faneuil Hall down here on the right. I've heard that more people visit Faneuil Hall annually than Disneyland or Disney World. I find that hard to believe. State Street. Alright, let's go Camry. Oh, it's a Mazda 6. Almost as bad. Sometimes I'll be parking my bike or whatever and walking past this thing and up the alley here. Actually, not this alley, the next alley down. You'll see like a bunch of Minutemen smoking. It's fucking hilarious. They're on their lunch breaks or whatever, and their wigs, ripping butts. It's my old parking garage there. I used to live in Brookline, which is a town right by Fenway Park, and that was pretty cool. Is it Sunday? No meters. What do we got here? Dum dum doodle boo doo doo, da doodle ding, da doodle bung. Oh, this is a spot. This is a friggin' spot right here. Oh yeah. I'm friggin' parking right here because Jimmy parked too damn close to that car. They always want to park with the bike oriented so that if they back into it, it's not going to flop over. Donk. See that? Kickstand down. If they back into it, it's not going to floppity do over. If I can put it the other way, you're screwed. Huh? No meter maids today. Oh, that's good parking. Biscuits.
Who said that?
Hawthorne.
What's the matter, smartass? You don't know any fucking Shakespeare?
Tear up the line.